Alrighty guys, we are here replicating the MacBook Air landing page, alright? And the first thing we're trying to do is get this header. And I'm realizing, or this navigation bar, I believe is what you would call it, or like a header, like what the hell do you even call that? I think it's a navigation bar. And I believe this might be the hardest part to complete, which is why it is the first part. So here we got our notes, starts with a div, nav, yada yada. But we're also going to have this inspection page open just because I feel like this helps me learn how to read code. And this is definitely going to be a great thing to end up having when it does come down to actually, hold on, let me turn my brightness up real quick. What we got so far. So of course we're gonna have to wrap this in a div. So we gotta pay attention to my div wrappings because this is going to be difficult. So to pay attention, we're gonna call this one the global. We're gonna call it the global nav. I think you have to uppercase. Do you? Global nav. Does that look better? I feel like I need quotes. I feel like I need some quotations. I haven't been doing HTML for a minute, if y'all can't tell. And I don't know if I need. Okay, we do need a nav there. Actually, hold on. So we're going to need a nav bar and actually space that out. And we're going to put an ID of, we're going to do nav1 because there is going to be a couple of navigations that we're going to need to add. I want to add another div, which I'm probably going to ultimately make this be, let's do like, I don't know how many how many headings there are. So I'm probably just going to, actually, would it make sense to write it in a paragraph? Or would that be weird if I just wrote that in a paragraph? Let me just keep it at H6. And then we're just going to write like store. But remember, we do got to start with the Apple logo. But I'm just wondering, what does this look like? Okay, that's written very, very small compared to... Actually, does that look pretty similar? Can I click the one right thing I'm looking for? I mean, it looks pretty similar. It is small, but definitely similar. I don't think these divs need to be wrapped in each other, do they? That might throw it off if I don't wrap them in a div. That's actually something that is very much needed to be asked. I probably should. Let me ask ChatGPT real quick. So let me see. It says all items wrapped in one parenthesis. So this is recommended, which is what I'm doing. Okay, yeah, but they basically ended it there. Option 2, closing the parent div. No. That's not what I'm saying. I want to keep this as like my container. So okay, that's pretty good. So then that's actually probably something I should call this is actually that'd be better is nav container instead this as sections because I think I'm going to want to customize each one to be the same size, if that makes sense. So this one is probably just going to be called Apple, and this is going to be because this is going to be Apple logo. So I'm not really sure. I kind of can't remember how to link a picture in HTML. I believe it's link in href, right? But I can't believe this whole time I was doing link. We don't got to talk about that, y'all. We don't got to talk about that. Well, first of all, now I got to make this background white. And then I'm also noticing that this is going to start going down. So at some point, I need to get in the reflex box. So this is going to be quite hectic. And then I also need to make the image smaller. So this is going to be something else. So we're going to have to immediately change this color. And we're obviously going to have to go to white. Now, I just real quick, I want to see, is this background white? Okay, it is. So that's perfect. So now we're going to end up getting into this. And we're going to need to target Apple. Now, as we target Apple, we're going to target the width of this image, and let's do like 20px. Obviously, this is going to be a trial and error, and the image is not moving. Actually, yeah, because we're targeting Apple. Maybe if I just target straight image, it's probably weird. Oh, yeah, because targeting Apple actually is targeting. Oh, well, technically it should be targeting the image, but that's okay. We digress. We digress. Oh, that's perfect. Oh my goodness, that was actually perfect. And if I really wanted to too, just to make it more better, I mean, I think it looks pretty good. I gotta close some of this stuff out. I think it looks pretty good, to be honest. I think it looks pretty good. It actually needs to be smaller, if anything. If anything. Wait a second, what's going on with here? Oh, okay, that's not a part of it I was gonna say, brother. Come on, that's just unfair. Like that. And maybe I'm tripping, but they do have it in as flex, is what it says. But let me go and see the width of this. 14px. Hey, you see how cool that is? Because I guarantee you if I do 14px, watch this. Watch this, watch this, watch this. 14px, I bet you that changes the game, makes it the exact same. Okay, that's kind of, well, Actually, I think that is the same size, right, y'all? Y'all probably gonna be like, hold up, y'all, you're doing it the wrong way. And that's okay. So we got iPhone. Damn, there's a lot that we gotta do. So we got iPhone, we got Vision. What's the next one? We got AirPods. What's the next one? We got TV and home. What's the next one? We got entertainment. Yeah, let's just make this quick, honestly. I don't think y'all need to see this part. Y'all figure what the hell I'm about to do. Alright, so far we have everything written down in HTML. I feel like there's such a better way to possibly do it, honestly. Now, it's not necessarily the same size as this one, and if I want to get the size down pat, all I gotta really do is just look at what size they ended up doing. And on top of that, too, it is kind of more bolder. But I feel like as of right now, the last thing I want to do is try and focus too much on that. The next part I want to do is try and get it to be across, and then eventually we're going to learn how to, do the rest. And this is going to be difficult, y'all. Oh, okay. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. So now that's on the left side. So I know what I'm doing. I'm just using the wrong stuff. And then flex start will obviously put it back in the same position. Ain't it row, y'all? Ain't it flex row? Am I tripping right now? It's definitely supposed to be flex row. Maybe it's what I'm targeting because I know row is definitely supposed to make it go side by side. So maybe it's what I'm targeting. Maybe section is not. Am I targeting sections? I am. So maybe if I target the actual div, so what if I do nav container instead? Maybe I'm just targeting the wrong spot. So nav container instead and see what that does. I mean, it brought it closer, but it didn't necessarily make it a row ID. I'd go better to the class anyway. Let me see if that helps. No, it doesn't. It should be working, y'all. I'm probably tripping hard. Cause I got display flex direction row. No, there's no uppercase. Let me try nav1 just to be sure real quick. Okay, there we go. So for some reason, nav1 is the one that's working. So then now that's probably when we're gonna need to justify content and we're gonna have to do space between or maybe space evenly. Oh, that's better. That's starting to come together. That is starting to come together. Let me see it back and forth. It is a little bit more separated than I would want it to be. Something called gap. Something called gap. And maybe if I do 20px, that ends up doing wonders. Why do I feel like the gap isn't closing the gap? It's like making a gap. Basically going to contain the sections, which should end up working well. Okay, let's see how this matches up. I'm pretty sure I just got to match number for number. Figure it out. The problem is though, is this Apple logo now is really far, but I think I could fix that with a bunch of margin and padding. That's gonna be something else though. I mean, honestly though, why can't I copy and paste this and then put that here? Would that throw it off? I keep trying to close my div. Would that throw it off if I did that? So like the Apple logo can stay with it. I think that's pretty cool. And actually too, I probably am gonna want to move this div. I don't know why I did it after. Where the hell is my div? I think it's this one. We're gonna copy that. What the hell? Did I even copy it? We're gonna copy that. We're gonna erase it and then probably move it to be here. So then now when we go in, yes, everything stays together. Now let me go and see how is this looking. Does that look better? It definitely looks better. I think it just needs a little bit more space. 30 would do well. Maybe 30. I don't know, y'all. What do y'all think? I think it's probably because that's throwing me off, but I'm really trying to like perfect that. And I think honestly, the only way for me to perfect this is to go in there and probably figure out what size that actually is. Like I can't, for some reason, I can't get past it. I cannot get past it. I mean, I think I'm almost there. Let me try one more time. Let me do 35. But that might just be it. I'm gonna have to take off that bold though. Oh yeah, but that's too small. That's way too damn small. Let's try like 18. Maybe 18 is goaded. Okay. Hold on. I hate having to do this. I know y'all keep talking about the live server, but I hate the live server. I think that looks way better. Oh yes. Yes, that looks way better. So I had a feeling it probably was the size, but now I feel like I need to drop it down a gap. I think I'm trying to go for too much of perfection. I think I'm trying to go too much of perfection. I just need to stop and allow it to happen. Oh yeah, that one's even better. Okay, and now at some point though, we do need to eventually get it to be up. I don't even know why it's not. There's like too much padding up here. So I might have the negative padding at the top button, but I think those are gonna be great. Those are gonna do its thing. Of course, this Apple button needs to drop immediately. It needs to drop and oops, it needs to drop and be a little bit more to the left, which I think we can 100% target on its own. And then eventually, oh, actually, I think I could do this right now. Um, uh, what would it be? Is it here where I would do cursor and pointer? So it looks like you can click on it. Yeah, that looks pretty sick, don't it, y'all? Don't it, y'all? All right, but still, I have a bunch of things that I need to do, but I think we ended up getting to the important stuff. So I hope y'all ended up enjoying. There's still so much more that I got to end up doing for this nav bar. So stay tuned, y'all. Stay tuned into the next part. Deuces.